What's good, everybody? This is the OG Broncnuts, 719 West here for the post-game chat, the live stream. Talk about how this game went tonight. Broncos beat the Cleveland Browns tonight, and the Broncos go into this game using essentially what is really amounts to about a third-string quarterback, and beat Cleveland at home. Kid throws a couple touchdown passes, a couple nice balls. Broncos get the win. And just excited to see that at least, there's something for Broncos fans to cheer about today. And, look, I wasn't a disbeliever in Brandon Allen. Nobody's ever seen the kid play. I mean, people ask me, is this kid good? And I'm like, I have no idea. Nobody does. Nobody's ever seen him play. I've never even seen him practice. I did see him play some games at Arkansas, but, nothing that was like memorable. And so sometimes players just need an opportunity to shine. And tonight, Brandon Allen got that job, that time to shine for the Broncos, and he got it done in a big way, threw some really nice balls in some tight windows. And then finally, Noah Kant, I'm going to quit calling you that until you have another bad game. Then I'm going right back to Kant, just so you know. Now, Noah Fant's not out of my doghouse because, let's be honest. He's had 6 bad games and 2 good games. And for a first-round draft pick, that's still underachieving. So, things are looking up for him. He played very well today, made a nice touchdown run on a little dump-off pass. And, he made some nice catches today, some big plays. Had one penalty, but, penalties are going to happen. But I just don't like dumb penalties, pre-snap penalties, like the false start that Bowles got today on the hard count. So I think overall, there's a lot to be excited about, at least what we saw today from the Broncos. They ran the ball good. They played good defense, particularly in the red zone. And they did a pretty good job of getting after Mayfield a little bit, which I think, that was a little surprising to see because we haven't been able to get a lot of pressure on quarterbacks. And we held Odell Beckham in check. He made his plays, but, that's OBJ. He's going to make some plays. And with you look at all the threats that they have on offense, look, I was one of those fans preseason that bought the Cleveland Browns hype because, on paper, it looks like they're pretty dang good. But defensively, there's a lot of first-round draft picks on that team. A lot of guys that are good defensive players. And so for Brandon Allen to be able to move the football against a team that has a lot of talent on their defense says something about his ability to be able to do that. Thanks for everybody joining the stream. Spencer Alvarez, Garrett Shelton, what's up? Bronco J. Mack, the usual crew, Samuel Walters, everybody in here, Sebastian Siebert. And I'm happy to see a game like that finally. It's kind of sad that, we lost. CA Sports, just welcome to the stream. All right. I'm happy to see. I'm not going to say, look, we're pointed in the right direction. Brandon Allen is the quarterback of the Denver Broncos for the future. I think he is now. And I think that, like I said all along, if I was the Broncos, I wouldn't bring Locke in after the bye week. I really wouldn't. I'd let Brandon Allen play at least the next 2 games, one on the road in Buffalo, and I think one on the road in Minnesota. And then after that, if he isn't 2-1 or at least 3-0, if he wins one of those 2 next games, how do you take the ball out of that kid's hands? I think you just keep letting him roll and just see what you got. The one thing that is really exciting about him is that, he was a college coach's son. So just being around the game and being able to handle that type of pressure, big situations, SEC football from the time you're just a little youngster and then playing in that conference. You could see that it oozed out today, and it didn't look like the game was too big for him. He looked comfortable back there making the throws. And man, did he do a hell of a job today stepping in his very first football game. Big ups to you, Brandon Allen, for the effort that you gave the Broncos and the Broncos fans in the 5280 today. Yami Morales, what's happening? Welcome to the stream. What'd you guys think about, you feeling better about Noah Fant? Because, I am feeling better. And look, I never said he was a bust. You haven't heard me say he's a bust, but you have heard me say that I call him Noah Kant because I'm disappointed. I know that you look the part, right? You're the size, you got the speed, you got the strength, you can create the separation. We saw that today. But his big problem in college was also dropped balls on third downs. That was the knock on him. So it's good to see that he came up. I mean, I think it's really just concentration about being a pro. And hopefully Noah Fant has made that next step, because we really need somebody to emerge at the tight end position that we've been really lacking here in Denver since we had Julius Thomas. And even Julius Thomas didn't amount to much in the NFL without Peyton Manning and the two wideouts in the offense that we had at the time. So at least Noah made a step today. Bowles, same old stinky, crappy, shitty Bowles. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious what the Broncos got to do in the draft. We have to get a left tackle, whether it's in free agency or the draft. Free agency is going to cost too much, especially with some youngsters at quarterback, wide out, and in the backfield. I think we're better off drafting a tackle. So, like I said, right away, if it was me right now, from what I know right now, the information that I have right this second, I would stand pat where we are and try to take the big left tackle from Georgia and either move Bowles to the bench for some depth, because you need depth along your offensive line, or move him inside because he can't play left tackle in the NFL. Yami Morales says, what happened is that Flacco didn't use the tight end a lot. Well, I mean, I disagree. I mean, we all saw the game where Flacco threw 4 balls that hit Noah Fant in both hands. So, I mean, look, he's giving him opportunities for the ball, and they were big play balls that Noah should have caught. I mean, at the very bare bones minimum, you got to catch 2 of the 4, and in the pros, you really got to catch 3 of the 4. He caught 0 of the 4. So I think that, it's not enough to it's not fair to say, Flacco didn't give Noah Fant the ball, because he did give him opportunities. Now, I personally do not think that Flacco was all of our problems, but you can see clearly that at least Allen has the ability to get out of the pocket. He did a great job of hanging on to the ball. He's a very heads up, take care of the ball type quarterback, and you really got to like that. When you're a fan of a team, because there's nothing more miserable than when you're driving, the quarterback just not taking care of the ball, or holding the ball too long in the pocket and holding it with one hand, or knowing that blitzer or that backside rusher is coming, and you got to secure the ball. And I thought Brandon Allen did a good job of that all day today, and that really contributed just to us being able to control the ball, play good defense. We kept him out of the end zone, made him kick a whole bunch of field goals. We waited till we got our opportunities. Lindsey broke loose for a long one. Fant breaks loose for a long one, and the rest is history. This catch Sutton made in the end zone, I mean, that was sick. Let's just be honest. He's covered right there like a blanket, and he was sick. And I've said it since the day we drafted him. The Courtland Sutton is the next big name in wide receivers in the NFL, because the kid shows it every week, week in and week out. He shows that he's a boss, that he deserves to get the ball. He deserves that he's, I think, headed towards that upper echelon of receivers. And speaking of upper echelon of receivers, I mean, we faced 2 pretty good ones tonight. Jarvis Landry got off a little bit, and so did OBJ. He got off a little bit, but neither one of them killed the Broncos today. And I think the Broncos played pretty good defense. And you see some of our youngsters, Malik, that new linebacker that we had, that was the 3rd-round draft pick, I believe, from Oregon. What was his name? His name, Justin Holland or something. It was nice seeing him get in there, cause a little disruption. So things are going to start to gel a little bit for us. We still got a lot of uncertainty at the quarterback position, but I think Brandon Allen has earned the starting job in Denver for right now, and I wouldn't be opposed. I mean, I think you got to bring Locke eventually off the IR, maybe just to have him as a backup, get him in some games. Maybe you shelf him the whole year. I mean, I don't know what the Broncos' plans are. But as a fan, I kind of like what I saw tonight. I like the decisions that were getting made. I like the ball placement that was being thrown. I like the ball security in the pocket. And when, he felt the pressure was there, instead of really trying to make a play, it was more about let's conserve this football here, and let's punt it and play defense. We've been playing well. And that's just smart quarterback play for the type of game that we were in today. Now, I'm not going to get real excited about this game because we beat a team that's just as bad as we are. Right? We play the Browns 10 times. They probably beat us 5 times. And they might even beat us 6, because I think on paper the Browns have better talent than what we have. But I think we put it together today. Didn't make a whole bunch of mistakes. And that's the reason why the Broncos won. Arnold Toledo, what's up, Bronc? That's what you think. Wild card run in 2019. Well, I don't know if we can say all of that. I mean, it would certainly be a minor miracle for us to reel off 8 straight wins, which, I mean, look, I guess it can be done. It has been done before, or what would it be? 8 straight or 7 straight wins, whatever. It could be done, and it has been done. I mean, they showed some stats today that it's been done 50 times. So anything's possible, I guess. But I wouldn't count on a wild card run. I think the Broncos have too many holes in their game. I think we're a couple years away of we got to have some solid drafts 2 years in a row. If we have that and we stack that on to last year's draft and the year before when we picked up Chubb and them, I think that, with 4 drafts, we can get young, we can get pretty good, we can get a little faster, and then supplement with a couple key leaders that are veterans through the free agent market. And I think that, the Broncos can be right there and be competitive. And teams don't usually stay down for long periods of time. Of course, last year the Browns, but we're not the Browns. This team has won some Super Bowls and won some Lamar Hunt trophies and has a proud franchise and a stadium full of people that are demanding for us to win. So I think the Broncos at least look good today. I mean, we could have had a win, should have had a win last week. And had that happened, we would have, put together a few wins here out of our last few weeks playing some decent football. But it didn't happen. And so, we are what we are. And right now we're a 3-win team. And let's hope we can pick up 3 or 4 more and we can, build upon the losses that we had last year and have less of them this year. And then let's just make some steps going forward. And I think we'll be right back in the mix. But we need a couple good drafts. Angelo Martelli, what's up, Broncos? Not much. Thanks for joining the stream, man. I appreciate all you guys coming in. Arnold Toledo, Argo, Bryce Parker. I know, Bryce, that we can still get the wild card. There's no doubt about it. I'm never going to give up on our team until we are just out of it and we're mathematically eliminated. But I mean, I'm just looking through things through realistic glasses. I didn't predict us to be in the playoffs, the preseason, or during the draft or anything, and I didn't last year either. I've been a Bronco fan for a long time and a football fan for just as long and maybe even just a couple years longer. And I know what it looks like. I know what playoff teams look like, and we don't look like one of those teams right now. Now, maybe, who knows, anything can happen. Things start playing really well. We get Juwan James back at right tackle, and things start to click for the Broncos. Who knows what can happen? I'm not going to say we're out of it. I'm just going to say let's just don't get ahead of ourselves and really be talking about the playoffs. Let's get into this bye week, get our right tackle healthy, and focus coming out of here. We got 2 tough road games, and then the Chargers, who won today in great fashion against the Packers, coming into Denver right after that. So there's going to be 3 really tough games in a row that we're going to have to play. And, and beyond that, you still got to play Kansas City, the Raiders, who are playing pretty well. So, the Broncos got a lot of challenges in front of them before they would even sniff the playoffs. So that's not even on my mind right now. Let's take it one game at a time. King Stacy says, yeah, you can't call Noah Fant Noah Can't. Well, I'm not. I already said in the beginning of the stream, he's back to Noah Fant. He's not out of my doghouse, King Stacy, because we've played 8 football games and the guy's played terrible in 6 of them. So he's played good in 2, and I'm going to give him that. He played very well today, and he played pretty dang good last week. Maybe he listened to my live stream. He got tired of me chewing him out 6 weeks in a row and finally just started looking like a first-round draft pick. But so far, these last couple weeks, he looks pretty nice. Argo's thinking about the playoffs, right? Chiefs are Super Bowl bound. Watch, Broncos. Well, we'll see. We'll see, Argo. I still don't think you got the team just yet to win the Super Bowl, but you're certainly one of the teams to be reckoned with in the AFC. I don't think that there's any doubt about that. My money right now at this point in the year is still on New England. I think their defense looks better than it's ever looked. I've never seen New England's defense as salty as it is right now. And as long as they got Brady and 2 or 3 good running backs, which they do, and picking up Sanu, I think that, along with Edelman, you got a couple MVP Super Bowl people that are on that team. That's a team that's done some things. And until you knock them off, don't even talk to me about no Super Bowl. And you think Bronco Nation says the Saints or the Hawks are winning the NFC. Well, I can believe the Saints can. I think the Saints almost look like the best team in football to me, especially with Breeze getting back. Bryce Parker says, can Denver get some new offensive linemen and maybe Ian Book from Notre Dame or Tua? Look, I don't want any quarterback this year. No quarterback anywhere. maybe we take a quarterback just for camp meet, right? In the 7th round, try to pick up another Trevor Siemian that can compete for, just some snaps and maybe push one Brett Ripien out of here or something like that. But I don't want a quarterback because Flacco is still under contract. And whether we like it or not, Flacco's probably going to come to camp. Now, he's probably either going to get cut or be reduced to a backup role. I don't know, but I can't believe the Broncos are going to pay a backup $19 million to stand on the sidelines. We've already seen enough. So we probably have to draft one quarterback just for camp, but I don't look at a first-round quarterback. I mean, look, supposedly we got what a lot of draft analysts say, that we got the steal of the draft with the second-round pick in Drew Lock, or we need to see this kid get in a uniform, get on the field, and compete for a starting job. Now, sometimes just the way the cards fall, it doesn't work out for one way or another, or 1 year for a guy. But I'm okay with that. I really am. I'd rather see Locke play this year, especially since we have a losing record. But let Brandon Allen win the next 2 games and go 3-0 in his starts. And now all of a sudden, we got 5 wins going into the back half of the season. You tell me you want to just bring Locke off the sideline and put him in? Because I don't. But if Brandon Allen loses a game or 2 and we know that we're getting mathematically eliminated, then I definitely want to see this young kid play and at least get some experience. But I don't want to quarterback any part of the first round this year. Let's save it. Let's build this offensive line, and let's look for somebody down in the future, and I think it'll happen. Everybody's saying that Noah Fant looks good today. I mean, yeah, obvious. I mean, that play that he took, for a touchdown, he made some nice moves, and that's exactly what the Broncos brass saw when they drafted him. I mean, look, like I said, the knock on him was some drops in crucial situations on 3rd down, and we've seen him do that. But I think that's really just concentration, being a pro, just being a pro and being held accountable to your teammates that when we throw you the ball, we need you to make the play. You got to make the play. You can't afford to have drives get killed in the NFL, but you can in college. Especially if you play for a good college team, but you can't afford to have that happen Sunday, day in, day out in the NFL and expect to win. So a lot of it, I think, is really just concentration and being a pro for Noah Fant. And like I said, he's played 6 bad games and 2 good games, so he's not out of my doghouse yet. He's a first-round draft pick. It's time to grow up and take the next step. String a few more, games together. I'm not expecting you to score every weekend, Noah, but I mean, just make some catches, make some nice blocks, make something happen, be a contributor instead of hindering our offense, which you did this week and last week. So you put together 2, so big props and big ups to you. Bronco Fanatic 97. Hey, Bronc Nuts, how about my boy Noah Fant? Okay, like you just heard me say, 2 games, cuz. 2 games. What? I mean, by your saying, what do you think about my boy Noah Fant? Now, do you expect Brandon Allen to be the starter at quarterback for the rest of the Broncos team? We've seen 1 game out of this kid. So let's keep things in perspective. I never said Noah Fant was a bust. I'm just upset and frustrated with the lack of professionalism that he was showing. You're a first-round draft pick. My man Elway's already on the hot seat, traded down, went on a limb to get you to take the 2nd best tight end in the draft. And then you come in here dropping balls like you're just greasing your fingers up with butter before the game. I mean, let's just get it together. That's all I'm saying. King Stacy says you want that old lineman from Georgia. I do too, man. I watch his highlights on YouTube. That guy, when he threw that Kentucky linebacker, I mean, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. He takes a Kentucky linebacker, and I mean, literally just picks him up and chucks him like 15 yards towards the end zone. Made some really nice plays. Looks really athletic. He's a big, big body. I think he's 6'4.5", 2 or 325. So, I mean, that's a big man, and that's what I like having in the NFL. And I just think maybe we have to try moving Bowles to inside or just making Bowles a role player and making him a backup tackle. I mean, look, Bowles ain't going to get paid. He leads the league in penalties. Who's going to give Bowles a whole bunch of money? Bowles is staying in Denver. He's going to do it for cheap. Diamond Rattler, welcome to the stream. I know you guys are pretty amped up about at least seeing something positive going to happen, but it's still, look, I know you guys are all Broncos fans. It's always nice to see your team win. I'm never rooting for us to lose or tank or do anything, but I always want to win. But I'm just happy that today we have something. We're all in a better mood and got something to win about. Let's see. Patty Perez, always in the stream, always commenting in my comment section. I appreciate you watching the OG Broncos channel, Patty. Big Bronco fans, we got our win ourselves. We got a win today, and yeah, we just take it one day at a time. All wins are good, and we need something to build on. Hog Farmer, you're funny when you have hope. Hog Farmer, I ain't got no hope. Hope for what? I have no hope. I hope we could get in the playoffs somehow, but you just heard me say the reality is, I'm a realist. I'm going to keep it real. I don't think we're going to make the playoffs. If I did, I'd tell you. Believe me. I don't. I don't think we'll make it because I don't think this team is solid enough to put together enough wins in the back half of the season to do that. I think we got some pieces. I think we got some coaching staff issues and some things that are new. I liked a little bit more of the plays we called today, the sets, the formations we were running. So I think that there's some, kinks to work out in Denver, and you can't expect all of that to come together in the first year. But yeah, I always have hope. I got hope for the future with the young players that we have, and hope that Drew Lock is going to end up being the starter, and then the trade from where we were to not take Bush and pick up Noah Fant, Reisner, and Drew Lock all in that 3-pick swing. Elway's going to come out looking like a genius, and all these haters that hate Elway are going to have to shut up. Now, if he's wrong, then I'll be the first one to admit it's time to go. But I don't think he's wrong on this one. I think that it's still going to turn out to be a good move for the Broncos. Turtles 4614. We won the game. Let's just enjoy it. Right. Let's just enjoy it. It's hard to get wins in the NFL. It's hard. I don't care how good your team is, who your quarterback is. You saw Aaron Rodgers struggle like crazy against the Chargers today. Chargers get Bosa and Ingram back both today. And, and then you got, what's his face? Their running back, Melvin Gordon, looking as good as ever, getting in the end zone a couple of times. So, it's nice to see just to get a win because wins are hard to get in the NFL. The Browns slapped us around here in Denver last year, and a lot of hype around the Browns, a lot of good players, a lot of big money on their payroll. And so to come in here and essentially beat them, which with a quarterback that was really third on the depth chart because of injury, is a nice feeling for Broncos fans. So it's a good deal for us. Turtle, Bulls the bigger disappointment. Not sure how he wasn't expected to bring his holding record to the NFL. He has been a big problem for us. He really has, and it's unfortunate. But sometimes guys don't work out, and those are the criticisms that Elway needs. We knew when we were going into this, Bulls was kind of a bad boy. He was an athletic tackle. And he was the second best tackle, I believe, in the draft. We were also looking, I think, O.J. Howard, and we were also looking at Cam Robinson, the tackle that was at Alabama. But neither of those two people, those two guys, Robinson or Howard, has had a big NFL career. They definitely had a better NFL career, I think, than Bowles, although I think Bowles has probably started more games. But, it's not... You're not going to hit on every single one. And the knock on Elway is he's been missing on some first-round draft picks, and I'll be the first one to admit it. He has missed on some, missed on a lot. But let's hope that going forward that Noah Fant works out to be, a franchise-type tight end here, and that Chubb keeps giving us everything that we've seen already, and we put together a couple more drafts, and the pressure's going to subside here because, we had a couple of years that were bad in the draft, and it's cost us. Ninja Ill in the house. Look, I love everybody joining the stream. Yo, DBL for life. Happy with the way we play today. I am too, man. Just it's good to see. It's fun. Look, winning's better than losing, right? It's just more fun. It feels better. It's funner to watch the game. More fun. It's more fun to watch the game. And I thought today's game was exciting. There was a lot of opportunities that the Browns had. What'd you guys think about that fourth down that got stopped down there when they were in the red zone? I think a lot of Browns fans think that they got slighted on that. I don't know. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But from what I seen, I couldn't really tell from the camera angles that I saw that, yeah, he's for sure over that line. And I couldn't say that he for sure didn't make it or he for sure did. I don't have any idea. All I know is that the referee is looking right down the line. He took a step forward and he immediately corrected himself and took a step back, which means he saw something. He saw where the ball stopped. And so that's all I can really go off of. And some days, it's diamonds, and some days it's chicken feathers. And we've had plenty of times this year when it's been chicken feathers for us with some bad calls, because we've definitely gotten bad calls. We've gotten bad calls that have cost us 3 football games that we'd have won had those calls didn't happen. So now let's say we don't get those 3 bad calls. Now we got 6 wins. Going into the back half of the season, and you got to go 4-4 to get to 10 wins, I'd say playoffs are a realistic possibility. So are the Broncos really a 2-6 football team that's absolutely atrocious and terrible? I think we proved today we're not atrocious and terrible, but we're not a good team. We don't have all of this put together. We don't play consistent enough. We don't have enough continuity, and we still are developing some of our young players. Exciting? Yes. Things to look forward to? Yes. Courtland Sutton easily emerging as one of the top best wide receivers in the NFL, and he's showing it every week, week in, week out, spectacular catches. And so those are promising things to have in your franchise because, look, it's hard to find good players. And to find a guy like that in the second round, I mean, you look at Calvin Ridley, some of these other big receivers that came out of the NFL, out of college, highly touted in the NFL. They came out in the first round with a lot of attitude and big dollars behind them. So to find a guy like Sutton in the second round, I mean, Sutty is nice. Let's just be honest. He's nice. He makes plays. And so I think that, we at least got some things going in the right direction. Diamond Rattler says cornerback in the upcoming draft or offensive lineman. Well, I think I've kind of covered it before, but I really think offensive lineman, no doubt. And I'd probably pick offensive lineman with our first 2 picks because if anything, we need some depth. We're going to have a decent offensive line if we can take 2 guys this year. And hopefully, look, that big offensive lineman from Georgia, that big tackle, he may be gone. We may have to trade up to get him. If he's gone, we may trade down and trade for some more picks and try to pick up 2 offensive linemen in the second round. Or one in the bottom of the first round and pick up an extra second round pick and really build some depth because we need help at left tackle. No, Bowles is, come on, let's be honest. I mean, Bowles proves to us every week he can't play tackle in the NFL. He played pretty decent today other than a false start penalty. And, and I'll say that, the other guy jumped too, but Bowles moved first. I mean, we knew we were on a hard count. And it looked that a bit. That was the other thing that was nice about what Brandon Allen was doing. He was slowing down their pass rush with hard counts, getting them to keep on guessing and remaining calm during the whole thing. You look at the post-game interview that they gave to Reisner. He said, man, I really thought coming in this game I was going to have to calm him down in the huddle. It's the first time he's ever played in an NFL football game. He goes, but he was actually calming us down. And I think that, like I said, I think that just goes back to him growing up in a football family. His dad was a football coach. And just being around SEC football since he was a little kid playing in that league, even though maybe the Razorbacks weren't one of the elite teams in the SEC, it still takes a little something to become a Division I SEC football player. And he certainly earned that there. And, and now he finally gets his shot. He sat behind Jared Goff for a little bit, and he's going to get his opportunity. And sometimes that's all guys need, is they need an opportunity to shine. Because in practice, it's hard to get reps with the first or second team if you're Brandon Allen. I mean, it's a tough thing to do, especially with Locke, if he's on the roster and practicing, and the fact that he wasn't, it probably gave him a little bit more. But, there's a big difference between practice and the lights on Sunday, and you got to come on the field on CBS and make it happen. And he did that today. So let's give him credit for that. He got that first win, that monkey off his back. And maybe we got us a good little quarterback here, and we don't even know about it. Right? Maybe the starter, the franchise quarterback in Denver's been sitting on our bench the whole time, and we didn't even know about it. Nobody was looking. Is that possible? Maybe. I mean, yeah, it's possible. Anything's possible. So let's just keep our fingers crossed that Locke gets back healthy, and then we can have some good open competition at camp next year, and we can come in here with a quarterback not named Joe Flacco that's a little bit more agile, can move around in the pocket, and at least stretch the field on third down and make linebackers play honest on a quarterback draw. So, I mean, we've got to have that piece to our game, because most NFL teams that are winners outside of having Brady or some other statue back there, I mean, you got to have a quarterback that can move around the pocket a little bit to have a decent opportunity. So at least we saw that today. We know that Locke can move around a little bit in the pocket. We know that Flacco can't, and that's why none of us want to see him anymore. He's done as far as I'm concerned. Let's just get him out of here. And I don't think we're going to pay a backup quarterback that kind of money. So I don't see Locke being able to Flacco being able to stick around too much. Patriots are getting destroyed, huh? Well, I got the game on the background, 16-0, but I can't hear it because I don't want to get the live stream booted because of, the stupid rules that YouTube has. But look, Patriots aren't unbeatable. I just said that I think they got a pretty solid defense. I know they haven't played a lot of people yet, but they've been smashing the people they've been playing. And they're going to lose some games. But I think when you get into December, January, cold weather football, coming through Gillette, coming through Foxborough. I mean, you've all seen it before. It's a hard place to win. It's a hard thing to go do, to go beat Brady in his yard. So as long as they don't lose more games than the Chiefs, I mean, Super Bowl is going to have to go through Foxborough, and that game's always going to come down to a big game. And it's the game probably everybody wants to see. They want to see Kansas City and New England, and no Bronco fan that I know worth your salt to be ever rooting for the Chiefs, because I'd rather see the Patriots win 15 more Super Bowls than see the Chiefs ever win one. So if you want to know who I'll be rooting for, Tom Brady. And I hate that dude. I hate the Patriots. The only team that's ever been able to stop the Patriots is the Denver Broncos, like you've heard me say in my videos before. If it weren't for the Denver Broncos, Tom Brady would be hauling around Super Bowl rings in a dual-axle dump truck because he'd had that many of them. We've stopped him from getting a few of them here. So, I don't know. I don't know who the best team in the AFC is. I think there's still a lot of football to be played. I think Houston can be dangerous at times. So let's just see. Anything can happen. Injuries. I mean, Mahomes, everybody says he's coming back and he's healthy and he's good and he's probably going to play next week. By the way, shout out to Matt Moore, right? I mean, guys coaching high school football came in. He played well today for the Chiefs. He really did. And that throw that he made to Tyreek Hill for that first score, I don't know what was a better play. I don't know if it was a better throw or a better catch, but that was a fantastic play, exciting play. Matt Moore played pretty well for the Chiefs, but I think, the Chiefs know that if they're going to win, they got to have Mahomes on the field, and they got to have a healthy Mahomes. So let's see how he comes and recovers from this injury that he had, and is he the same Mahomes as before? And there's not really a doubt in my mind that he's not going to be, but I think it's imperative for the Chiefs' success for that to happen. Let's see. What do we got here? Bill Romanowski says, Allen is useful. I would agree. He's useful if anything. If we didn't find us a starting quarterback today, we found us a competent backup quarterback that I think we can all be confident in, that is knowing that we got this guy standing on our sidelines in case if we have to bring him in. We've seen that he can make throws. We've seen he can scramble around the pocket. We've seen that he plays with confidence. We've seen that he takes care of the football. We've seen that he throws a nice spiral. He doesn't hang on to the ball too long. He gets down and slides like he does smart, heady things that quarterbacks should be doing. So I would agree. I think he's useful, and I'm glad that he's on our team. I really am glad that he's on our team. And if he ends up being the starter in Denver, okay. I don't have any problem with that. I don't have any problem with a quarterback coming out of nowhere, surprising everybody, and we're saying, hey, this is our guy. And if that happens this year, if he wins a couple games here in his next 3 set, and hopefully I think that he should play the next 2 games for sure. If he does well in those 2 games, well, good, because that just reaffirms and reassures that the Broncos are out of the quarterback market in the first round next year. Let's build this line. Let's do what Indy did. Indy spent a lot of money in Quentin Nelson and building up those guys along that line, and then went and got Brissett, who nobody really thought was a great quarterback. And I don't think you could still say he's a great quarterback, but he's a legit starter in the NFL. He is. And he looks nice playing with them. So I think Allen's useful. He's good on this roster, and let's just wish him some more success, because I heard in his post-game speech he gave all the credit of today to Joe Flacco for just mentoring him and helping him learn the offense and helping him this week with his job duties and the things that he needed to be doing to help the Broncos win. And I mean, look, that's a good teammate, right? An unselfish. Let me just give some credit out to my boys here in this locker room that helped me get here, because as good as athlete as all those guys in that locker room are, you need a lot of help from a lot of different people along the way, starting with your mom and dad, all the way to the trainers, coaches, players that they play with, and the support system that's around them to have success at the pro level. So good for him, and I wish him more success. Patty Perez says rooting for the Chiefs would be a sin. That's right, honey. We never root for no sorry-ass Chiefs. Never root for the Chiefs. I don't care if the Chiefs was playing the state penitentiary convicts. I'd still be rooting for the convicts. I ain't rooting for the Chiefs. I'd root for the convicts all night, all day long. Cheer for them convicts before I would cheer for any Chiefs. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it up with that tonight. And I appreciated everybody who joined the stream. And just happy Broncos get another win in the books. We get to this bye week at least feeling good about things. And then let's come out of this on the other side with a new outlook, and let's just start building a culture of winning and success here in Denver. This is the OG Broncnuts from the 719 West. Checking up out of here. The Broncos winning the 52-80. I'm out. See you tomorrow, suckers.